Welcome to another edition of the SLATE, the MrWarrenHayes show, pre-show that I do 3 times a week before Raw on Wednesday nights and before SmackDown on Friday. No, SmackDown is not on Wednesdays. That's the thing, right? It's like, anywho, hey, welcome. That's the important thing. Welcome here tonight, Wednesday evening. We are going to be previewing tonight's big stuff. There's still Dynamite. It's still NXT. But, between the both of us, just the two of us right here, there's a certain engouement in regards to what's going to be happening with AEW tonight, the big Winter is Coming show. But there's still goings on with NXT. But first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining me here live right here on youtube.com/MrWarrenHayes. And I hope that the SLATE becomes part of your wrestling watching routine every Wednesday, every Friday, every Monday, just a half hour just to get warmed up, Like when you do exercises, you're supposed to stretch. You go like this. And then you go like this. You touch your toes. Yes, I'm wearing slippers. But that's what you do, right? That's what you do to get excited, to get ready. So this is like stretching your hype. That sounded absolutely awful. But we're feeling very good tonight, and I'm very glad to see a whole group of people joining us here tonight on the SLATE. Once again, we got Cody Fosterling, who's here. Good to see you, Cody. Benoit, of course. Zach Barber, good to see you. Evan Wright as well. Nice to see you. Aaron Entertainment. Our boy, Wild Boy, Pew Pew, is here. DGMC as well. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is very cool. And if you're liking already what you're seeing, give it the video a thumbs up, the stream a thumbs up. Share it out there into Twitter land, into Facebook world, wherever it is. Let's get some people in here so we can talk about stuff. But before we go on, I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to just mention, of course, the passing of Pat Patterson that we learned earlier today, who was struggling with cancer. I'll talk about him a little more tomorrow on the MrWarrenHayes show, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here, of course, recorded live. If you want to come in and chat about Pat Patterson, and I was probably exposed to Pat Patterson a lot earlier than a lot of people in the United States growing up in the province of Quebec. He was a television figure for WWF at the time, so I've had a long-standing relationship with him, a legend. May he rest in peace. Condolences to all his family, his friends, and of course those his fans and anyone who was very close to him. A deep loss. But hey, right now we are focusing on a couple of shows that are coming up tonight that are on their way here. I get Flowman also here in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome. We're going to start by talking about AEW, right? I mean, this is what we got to do. We got to take the time. AEW is the big show. Look, I'm going to tell you one thing right off the bat. I tweeted this out just before coming online, and I think it bears mentioning. I really do think it bears mentioning. I think one of the greatest greatest things to have come out of the Wednesday Night Wars is the return of the supercard, right? I'm not talking about pay-per-views. I'm talking about free TV getting these big time, big wig matches. Kind of like Saturday night's main event, right? Like years and years ago. Just a big card, free on TV, that I get excited for. That's something I really dig. And I'm excited. I'm tonight the winter is coming is cool. Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash. They all have a good feeling about them. Something cool. Fighter Fest. There's all something important about them, So this is something I think that as fans we're all benefiting from these fights on Wednesday nights. I will tell you though, the winter is coming stuff, great aesthetic. I think it's very, very pretty stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not convinced. I'm not quite sure that referencing television shows which are canceled and completely past their prime. I think it's a very pro wrestling thing to do, but it's a nitpick because otherwise I think the aesthetic was wonderful. Everything they've done, the video that they released earlier today, that look, great stuff all around, right? But hey, like I said, I'm just nitpicking. But let's talk about the card and let's go right ahead. We're going to start talking about let's just start talking about the big one, Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. This is what you mean, right? When you're talking about a super card, when you're putting something free on TV with big time implications. I think this is it right here. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. Well, there's a lot of speculation going around the show, and Anakin, who is in the chat, how you doing, Anakin, left us a super chat. Thank you very much as well, Anakin. Really appreciate it. He says, "Will Kenta be on Dynamite? And if so, could Moxley be at Wrestle Kingdom without going to Japan?" This is all very interesting. So let's break this down. There are a lot of rumors out there, of course, that Jon Moxley is going to be heading to Wrestle Kingdom, despite the fact that Tony Khan got on a media call and said there's no way he's working Wrestle Kingdom. He's not. He could be working us, and that's okay in the context of these calls. He can absolutely be like, "Oh, sure, yeah. Triple H has done it before on media calls with NXT, whatever, right? I think that's part of the game." Imagine if Tony Khan had got out there, got on the media call and say, "Hey, you know what? Jon Moxley is going to wrestle. He's going to work Wrestle Kingdom, right?" Imagine if he had said that. Just think about it. Imagine if he had said that. That would have probably telegraphed the ending of the match tonight, and everyone would have kind of been pissed. So I think he did the smart thing. Now, to the point, right? Is Kenta going to show up? Kenta is in Japan, and flying in and out of countries right now, still not simple. Pretty sure Japan has very strict quarantine rules when it comes to coming back into the country, so on and so forth. So, maybe he will. Didn't we see him recently with Bullet Club Orlando t-shirt or something to that effect recently? And I'm like, he still has ties in the U.S. Like, he's lived here for quite a while. I'd probably even assume that he still has a residence here in some form or another. So I'd be curious, right? I'd be very curious. I saw the tweets. I saw Kenta tweeting out that he was I saw him tweet out, it's Wednesday night with a little Dynamite stick, right? I'm like, okay, well, clearly he could just be trolling, right? And it'd be a very Kenta thing to do, of course. I'm very torn on what's going to happen next, but my guess here, this is my thought here. I believe, regardless of what the Wrestle Kingdom plans are, I believe Jon Moxley is going to lose the AEW title tonight. I think Kenny Omega. I think Kenny Omega wins the title. Just as simple as that. Will it be through a screwball finish? Will it be a screwball finish, or will it be clean, or what? Cleaner? We'll see. But I think that they've hyped this enough to make it a big deal. I think they've been leaning in really, really hard on Kenny Omega, the superstar, It would work. It would work in the context of the story they're trying to tell, the character that they're rebuilding for Omega. I think Omega becomes world champion tonight. Now, to go to the second part of Anakin's super chat, he said, do you think Moxley could be at Wrestle Kingdom or defend the IWGP United States Championship, which is the title that he holds in New Japan, by the way, in case you're wondering, why are we talking about Wrestle Kingdom? Why are we talking about New Japan? That this is where we're at, right? This is that's the question that we're trying to reconcile here. Why is that? It's because he's the IWGP US title holder, and Kenta won a shot to reclaim that title. Now, won a shot. He won. Words are hard tonight. Apparently, he ended up winning a shot at the U.S. title in a tournament, the New Japan Cup U.S. tournament that happened a few months ago. So Mox is ready to challenge it. Will Moxley go to Japan to defend it? Maybe. If he loses the AEW World Championship tonight, I think we're closer to him going to Japan to defend the U.S. title. Because right up until New Japan outright tells Jon Moxley, we have to strip you of the title, I still think there's a very fair chance of him going. A very, very fair chance. I think I think that Tony Khan wouldn't necessarily want Moxley to go to Japan to defend the U.S. title while he's the AEW World Champion, because he's going there to defend a belt which is technically under Moxley over there, right? It's a kind of a weird situation on that level. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And the question is, Kenta going to show up tonight? And as people have been pointing out in the chat, and I do stand corrected, and they're right, Kenta hasn't been seen on New Japan television since the G1, or not since the G1, since a Power Struggle, excuse me. So a few weeks removed. So maybe these issues have been worked through. He could be in Orlando. He could already be here. He could show up, and maybe if AEW doesn't want to send Japan overseas, maybe they can have maybe they can sanction a IWGP match here in the United States on AEW. I mean, hell, they're doing it with the NWA Women's title. And then if that happens, then by God, then we're getting into speculation territory. Then we're talking about that forbidden door again being blasted right open, right? Then it becomes a whole other conversation. My God. But my gut, my instinct, I would say, don't work yourselves into a shoot. Don't be disappointed if Kenta doesn't show up tonight, because I think it would kind of make a little more sense for Hangman Page to show up and screw up that finish for Moxley, so that Page can try to maintain his friendship with Kenny Omega, which I don't think has been resolved yet. I think it's still an open wound for our boy here. Peter Davies, welcome to the chat. How are you? We got Evan Wright, who left us a couple of super chats. Thank you, Evan. He says, does Mox versus Omega feel bigger than Lee versus Cole? Keith Lee versus Adam Cole? Yeah, I think it does. I really do think it feels bigger. Not to diminish Adam Cole versus Keith Lee, because I think that has indie cred. It has a lot, it's like an indie super match. Whereas in the case of Kenny Omega, huge main event, international superstar, John Moxley, same level. To me, it's a whole other ball game. But two exciting matches nonetheless. Evan Wright left us his second chat. Thank you. Second super chat. Thank you very much. Says, fun fact, Kenny Omega, if he wins tonight, will be one of, I think, 3 people who have won major titles in America, Mexico, and Japan. Would be wild. That true? Who would be the third? Who would be one of those 3? Liger? Did Liger ever win a North American championship? I'll have to research that. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the stream. That's a very interesting, very, very. Or I mean, if people want to dive in here and take a look, hey, go right ahead. I am enjoying peppermint tea. I feel very festive tonight. I hope you guys enjoy the festive look for the stream tonight. We're gonna hang on to that for a bit. I think it puts us in a. Doesn't it put you in a festive mood? Want to say hello to Nikki as well, who's here. Just saw her in the chat. Good to see you. There's other matches on this card, right? I don't know if you heard. Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes taking on Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. I still think it's corny. I still think it's corny. And folks, don't forget you can vote on the poll as well. That's currently going on. You just have to put an exclamation mark before your choice, either Mox or Omega. Just go right ahead. Cortair07, welcome to the chat. And yes, that's a good point. Liger did win the WCW light heavyweight title, so probably Liger is one of those multi-continental, like truly intercontinental champions. So Darby Allin, Cody Rhodes versus 2 members of Team Taz. I think this is all about storyline building. A lot of people have been saying, is Kenta going to show up? Is Kenta going to show up? My question is Shaq going to show up? This is something that I feel is entirely plausible. They're building this as a big show, as a super card. Let's just see what happens there. You dive right in and you go like, you go right in, you bring Shaq out during this match here, but not to necessarily interfere. I don't think you necessarily have to get Shaq physical, but I think Shaq does show up tonight. Frankly, I kind of think that Team Taz needs to come out strong on this one. If you're asking me, I think a big showing by Powerhouse Hobbs, crushing Allin and Rhodes would be fantastic. And man, what can you say about Ricky Starks? He is so good. Can you imagine NWA had that guy? They had him. He was signed. He was there. He was their television champion. And I remember watching this guy in the ring and I said, wow, he's really cool. I like his presentation, how he's going forward, but they didn't really give him much promo time until they did. And then I'm like, oh, okay, this guy has a total package kind of feel right now. So that's really cool. So I'm excited to see how this goes. We're getting Chris Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian. First time in a singles match ever. As Jericho mentioned on his little Twitter thing, his little Twitter video he put out today, in 30 years, after 30 years in the wrestling business, the term first time ever becomes a bit of a rarity, but that's what we're getting here tonight. It should be good. I think Kazarian is fantastic. I'm fully expecting tons of shenanigans from the inner circle on this one, but I could see Kazarian getting a win here, and I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one who sees Frankie Kazarian transforming more and more into Randy Orton physically, right? Is it just me, chat? I can't be the only person who sees that, right? It has to be. There has to be other people. And I'm not talking about attitude or work rate. I'm just talking about physically, the way he looks, the way he's built, the face. They're going to be indistinguishable in a couple of years. Thomas Gory's good to see you. Welcome to the chat as well. Evan Wright left us another super chat. Thank you, Evan. He says, give me an Okada versus Ricky Starks crossover match. Hey, if that Forbidden Door comes down, kapoosh, give me Ricky Starks versus Master Wato. And Ricky Starks just is like, who the hell is this guy? And just the repartee would be fantastic. I mean, the New Japan stuff with AEW, we can all dream because it's exciting stuff. It really is. Matt Sydal versus Hiromu. What are you talking about? We're also getting Britt Baker versus Lila Hirsch, who should still be on Team Taz as the female member. What are you people talking about? And the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale is happening tonight. We're going to have a bunch of dudes, including MJF, all get into the ring in an over-the-top battle royal to determine who is... I think that's what the stakes are, and I checked and I dropped into the MrWarrenHayes Discord, which, by the way, you should join. It's going to be an exciting time tonight in the Discord. People are hyped for AEW tonight for the big show. You should come in and watch it with us. It's a cool group. Links in the description. Check that out. Oh, hello, Kristen Ashley. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. So the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal is happening tonight. I think, like I said, the Discord sort of confirmed it. Whoever wins the Battle Royal tonight gets the ring. So that'll be something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that. I like the I like the Royal Rumble usually when it comes to Battle Royals. Battle Royals in general, though, I'm very, very 50-50 on them. And I feel AEW has improved dramatically with their producing, with the producing of their Battle Royals. So keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully they'll be able to put on something entertaining tonight. I mean, that's all I want. I just want fun things. So, I mean, it's hard to deny that AEW isn't jam-packed tonight. They've been hyping this show for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, why wouldn't you be excited about this? We got a hell of a big match on it. They've got all sorts of great things bubbling underneath. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Let's talk about NXT now. Oh wait, Evan Wright left us a super chat as well. He says Yano versus Orange Cassidy, please. I still want that Minoru Suzuki Orange Cassidy match that we were supposed to get WrestleMania week this year. God damn it. That's the greatest tragedy of the COVID era, and as far as wrestling goes, as far as wrestling matches goes, I mean, I'm not trying to compare, the loss of human life to the loss of a wrestling match. Don't get me wrong. But my God, Suzuki versus Orange Cassidy, I still want that to happen. The big match on NXT tonight is Shotzi Blackheart, team captain of the Babyface War Games, Women's War Games match. Of the Women's War Games team, Jesus, versus Reina Gonzalez, who is on the heel side. Of course, the heels are made up of Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, Reina Gonzalez, and Toni Storm. There is an open spot right now, still that still hasn't been filled by one woman on the babyface side, because we have Shotzi, we have Rhea, and we have Ember Moon. So we're missing one person there. I feel it's going to be Io Shirai, who is going to make an appearance tonight. My dark horse prediction, Mercedes Martinez returns as a babyface and comes in to fill in that final spot. That would be because the report is that Mercedes sat down with creative on Raw and said, this retribution shit, I am not doing it. I haven't wrestled for over 2 decades to get called up to Raw to do this silly shit. Send me back to NXT. That's why we haven't been seeing her. So this would be a good moment for her to return, but I kind of feel Io is going to be the thing. It's a ladder match, of course, because we need ladder matches all the time on NXT. So we'll see how this goes. I think Team Shotzi should get the advantage here, since the men, the heels on the men's match have the advantage. I haven't. Let me give a quick look here. I think because as I was preparing my notes, of course, there were matches that was the only match, like the only real match that was announced. There's actually no. There was a tag team match set up. Kurt Stallion and Leon Ruff were supposed to take on Legado del Fantasma, but Legado del Fantasma jumped Kurt Stallion, and now Leon Ruff is alone for this match, so we'll see what happens. We've got Damien Priest, who popped up on social media, being like, I'm ready to fight, but then he runs into the Legado guys, so he's probably going to team up with Leon Ruff, who he's going to be facing at NXT TakeOver War Games this weekend. How will they ever get along, folks? How will they ever get along? Their opponents. This is basically just fuel for that feud right there. We've got we also have an appearance by the Kings of NXT, Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, and Danny Lorcan and Oni Birch gonna be there as well. Which should be, Pat McAfee right now. Can you imagine that right now in WWE, their best heel outside of Roman Reigns is a guy who isn't really an official member of the roster? McAfee has been absolutely fantastic as a heel. His promos have been outstanding. He has been so good at what he does. He really has been fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what what they have up their sleeves tonight. And we have another Thatch as Thatch Can segment as well. It's such a weird one, right? It's such a weird one because Timothy Thatcher has to start winning matches, and convincingly, right? Because the whole Thatch Can thing, which is completely in character for him, don't get me wrong, absolutely in character for him. It's not working because he's losing matches and he's tapping out to fools. They've ruined anything that they tried to make with him. This is the guy who took out Matt Riddle in the fight pit, right? The fight pit. That was supposed to be his thing. Anyway, so it's hard to get excited with Timothy Thatcher on this. WWE likes to say, or at least, their creative aspects like to tell us, that wins don't matter, but they do. They do. When you're when creatively the basis of everything you do is competition and, getting one over your opposition and trying to prove that you're the best. If you're constantly losing. That's pretty much what we have set up for NXT tonight. Anakin JMT left us a super chat again. Thank you, Anakin. He says, I'm not expecting Cole on NXT tonight, as 2 hours ago he was streaming Dark Souls 3. Let's go check. Let's go see if he's still on. Because it was reported that there was a major NXT star that he's still live. He's still live. He's, what is he doing? No, wait, that's not Adam Cole. Wait, I'm not on the right channel. No, he's offline. So he could be on his way. I mean, I was going to say, if he's still playing Dark Souls, it has been reported that a major NXT superstar has got the big Rona. So, it could have been absolutely that. Robert Sterling, hello, how you doing? And Cyclops is better than Wolverine? Still a very controversial avatar name. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Anakin left us a super chat as well. Again, thank you very much. He says, the slander on Bayley being shafted in favor for Pat for top heel is uncalled for, sir. That's not slander. I'm just calling him as I see him. And hello to Dan Reed, who just popped in. As we are about to wrap it up for this edition of The Slate, thank you everyone for joining us. Whatever you decide to watch, NXT, AEW. Sure, AEW has the hype tonight, but enjoy whatever you're going to enjoy. Join me tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, right back here on youtube.com/MrWarrenHayes for the Mr. Warren Hayes Show. Enjoy the shows, everyone. See you tomorrow.